As the scene shifts from Abu Dhabi to London, just a short train trip to Paris, where the Olympics begin next week. The O2 Arena is the site for the final two exhibition contests for the United States as they take the floor tonight against a team that will be making its Olympic debut next week in South Sudan. 3 games down, 2 more to go. Victories over Canada and Australia in tight fashion. And after a slow quarter-and-a-half start against Serbia, the United States blew out the Serbians to start 3-0 in this exhibition run. They'll take on the reigning FIBA World Cup champion in Germany on Monday. Adam Amin, Bill Raftery with you. And against Serbia, Steph Curry, who gets set for his Olympic debut, was able to set the tone.
Adams playing himself into tip-top shape, coming off screens, ready to rise and drill it. Big time, getting the puppies organized from deep. Typical Steph, though, just understands the game, space, distance, and the floater as well. He is ready to perform at the optimum.
24 points was the highest output in the first 3 games for any individual player for the U.S. Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis did excellent work. Offensively, yes, coming off the bench from the big spot, but defensively, Adebayo, Davis, and the rest of the United States were very good, and they've been pretty good in the first 3 games.
They've really done a nice job communicating, letting people know we've got a shot blocker there. Don't foul, don't put him on the line. And as you mentioned, whoever, whether it's Davis, Bam, Adebayo, the presence, nothing is easy to get some run outs because of the excellent defense. And who can finish better than that guy? It's impressive with Davis, though. Just his reaction, the way he plays ball screens. He's been on top of his game.
U.S. has had 3 different starting lineups in the first 3 contests. There was maybe some expectation that Kevin Durant would be on the floor. Joe Varden was reporting that Durant will not play tonight after returning to practice this past weekend. So the United States will go with the lineup they went with in their opener against Canada. Curry, Holiday, Booker, LeBron James, Joel Embiid. Curry, James, and Embiid have been starting in each of the first 4 exhibition contests for the United States. For head coach Steve Kerr, who gets set to make his Olympic head coaching debut coming up this coming week. 11-3 so far in international competition.
Pretty relaxed with that lineup, wouldn't you be?
Very much so.
They have been playing very well, stepping it up. I think just getting really into game shape after a few weeks off after the NBA season and playoffs.
LeBron James at 39 years of age, surpassing Larry Bird as the oldest United States men's basketball player, giving some love to his former Laker teammate, Wenyen Gabriel. Steph Curry makes his Olympic debut coming up this week at age 36. Will be Embiid and Gabriel. Comes in with just about the most NBA experience among the current active players for South Sudan. And the tap won by the United States, and off we go in the 4th exhibition contest.
We know what they can do on the offensive end. I think they got to communicate defensively, check out, and rebound and run. They're much taller.
You see Curry constantly in motion.
Oh, what a pass.
A flip for Holiday in a 3. And rebound for Gabriel. This is Carlik Jones. Keep an eye on him. He has played very well for South Sudan over the last year, was exceptional at the World Cup last year.
Attack mode, can make some threes, loves to go right. Not a good look there. They got to make sure they value these possessions. Team has been very unself. Ball moving, going side to side. There's an Embiid here with a lift and a back.
For LeBron James in the jam.
They've done that nicely. The spacing, great cut. That guy knows the game.
Well, you and I have talked about it a little bit. I know you and Jason Benetti were talking about it the other day. It's such a different feel at the international level. It's very much pace, space, and sharing. As Jones misfires and Curry has it. Outlet feed. Devin Booker with the adjustment.
You can't give up easy baskets like that. Got to protect the backcourt. I've been impressed defensively, Adam. They really hung in there. They've been tough. Preventing dribble drives. Nice challenge there. Tough shot.
Full off target. Rebound for LeBron. The versatility of this United States lineup. Anybody can start a break. Anybody can end it. LeBron misfires. Embiid keeps it alive.
Nice find.
It is Holiday gliding in with the left hand.
How about the give, too? Offensive rebound. Generally, you get an open 3. Good dribble drive.
There is Cole, rises and in and out. Tap by Gabriel to LeBron James.
And James can play so many positions. The mentality as a point forward.
Good physicality there from Mariel Shayok, and on the interior, a foul is called as Nouni Omat, the former Baylor star, gets tagged with the foul.
How about Steph? A little defense, selling it. A little ability of reading things, using screens. Nice pop by Joel, the back cut and delivery. And right here, that open middle, known for his defense, Holiday delivers.
Fresh off an NBA title, his second title in the last few years for Holiday. This year with Boston, one of the best two-way players in the NBA. Here is Embiid against a smaller Gabriel. A double comes from Omat. James cuts, James flips, off target, tipped alive, and knocked out from underneath the rim. It's basket interference and a point for the United States.
I tell you, they're playing with it around the rim. You can see he's exploiting the size differential. What's amazing, the reads and cuts that these talented guys possess.
Holiday, arguably the best defender on the perimeter for the United States, is guarding Carlik Jones, who's been a 20-point-per-game guy at the international level. Omat pulls up over the smaller Holiday and gets South Sudan on the board.
He is a confident shooter, can make some threes, a little middle game there, and get attacked.
Looking for ball movement. Booker was looking for a foul. A save by Omat. A quick trigger from Cole. And a long rebound to Holiday. A quick outlet feed from LeBron.
Too easy. Tough shots. Opens up the floor. I feel they're on top of their game. 2 in a row here. Solid. Unselfish. Using the whole floor. A little run out. Big time bang.
6 of the United States 10 belong to James. He's already got 3 boards as well. Fabulous All-NBA caliber campaign. LeBron James still looking spry at 39.
Pretty impressive credentials, huh?
My goodness.
We were talking off air. Have you seen any talent being diminished?
Anytime we cover a Laker game over the course of a season, the 2 times that, as an Eastern Conference broadcaster, you see LeBron twice a year. And we always say in the open, don't forget to appreciate what you're watching over the course of the next couple of hours, because it is still exceptional at age 39, and there's very little drop-off.
And we have mentioned, Jason and I, that his attitude getting ready for this, whatever you want, coaches, a little challenge by Joel.
We got the rebound on the Jones miss. We're seeing a lot of quick movement up the floor off of misses thus far. There's 1 for 6 South Sudan. Booker floats it. Embiid taps it in.
How about that? He can get it going. Of course, anytime you dribble, drive, a little leakage, a little help. Joel bodies up.
Gabriel knocks down the 3.
And they're going to get something going on the offensive end. He's an undersized 5-man. Again, getting down the floor. This time, Embiid.
And you mentioned Gabriel being undersized. He has the tough task of playing the 5 right now. He draws the foul. And Embiid will head to the free throw line.
Yeah, welcome to the Olympics. And by the way, you're going to play Joel.
Yep.
That could be painful. Having him get down the floor, so he's getting a fresher too. And a little knee problem during the playoffs.
I thought he missed it. He had some knocking it down. Yeah, there was some criticism of Embiid in the first couple of games because of his slow start. Some calls for maybe shifting him out of the starting lineup, taking some pressure off of him. But as was written this past week, a guy who takes a lot of pride in the position that he is in. He had options, could have played for multiple countries. Because of his background, opted to play for the United States and wants that role.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Of course, Davis is a guy who lets them play in a different, they can play smaller, and obviously the impact defensively. Nice little bump to get that look.
Wenyen Gabriel, 31% three-point shooter at the NBA level, is hit back-to-back. Embiid bangs through. It's an offensive foul drawn by Wenyen Gabriel, a veteran of 150 NBA games.
They paid the price there with that step in.
Played for Sacramento, Portland, New Orleans, Brooklyn, the Clippers, most notably the Lakers, and then a cup of coffee with the Grizzlies this year.
Well, I think on the other end, as he picks up this charge, good footwork, He can spread a little bit and use him in some dribble handoff opportunities.
South Sudan getting prepared for its Olympic debut as the highest-ranked African team, reaching the FIBA World Cup last year. They earned their spot in the Olympics for the first time. A foul against the United States here.
Well, if they gave it to Curry, if not, on the cut.
It is on Curry. South Sudan's only been an independent country for 13 years, declared its independence from the Republic of Sudan in 2011, makes it the youngest basketball nation. Throughout this roster, you'll hear stories of players that were refugees, had to battle through multiple countries, incredible journeys with family as young children, as infants, sometimes as babies. Many of these players immigrated to Australia. There's a three, another one. This one from Mariel Shayok, a former college star.
Yeah, Virginia guy. That is some sad stories and what these guys have been able to do with their lives. World Dang, for example, sacrificing, contributing. How about him? Doesn't need much space, does he?
Steph Curry, plenty of space that time, running off screens, moving without the ball as he does exceptionally well, and he's got a three.
Again, lifting Joel.
Good positioning by Paul, and it's off to Omat.
They're very good offensive rebounding group. Quick to the ball.
U.S. trying to push the pace a little bit here. Right back to that matchup with Embiid against the undersized Gabriel. LeBron James misses a three. Good rebound by the guard, Jones. South Sudan has made 4 of its last 5 shots, trying to keep it going with Cole. Rebound Curry and looking to push.
Showed some life, though. A little spirit.
It's Holiday in transition. Rebounded by Omat.
Jones has been quiet thus far. They've been able to keep him out of the lane. They love the corner jumpers off dribble drives as well.
Step back from Omat over Embiid. James with his 4th rebound. Right into Embiid. You see the United States getting down the floor fast. Curry with the floater. Tapped alive and into the hands of Jones. Outlet for Shayok. LeBron tried to deflect it, and he ends up tapping it off of Shayok and out of bounds.
How good is Steph without the basketball? Boy, great step and go. Didn't convert, but boy, is he a tough guy to guard against. Inside game, nobody there because Embiid has been lifted. Real life, he's got them doing some nice things to get back in this game.
LeBron James will get a breather. Line change here for the United States. Anthony Edwards, Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, Bam Adebayo, and Anthony Davis all in.
Some come down, huh?
No kidding. That's usually how I feel after dinner with you.
Tatum, got to get him going a little bit. He has not shot the ball as we're accustomed to and not really getting in the lane either.
South Sudan makes some substitutions as well. Here is Carlik Jones. You mentioned it, trying to get him into the paint. This is a triple off the side of the backboard for Deng. Good effort by Deng. Majuk Deng, after missing the shot, getting back inside and drawing a foul. He's got a chance to tie the game.
Yeah, Davis, I think, on the scrape, but they're a good offensive rebounding team. They get good shots, get in position, dive to the rim. A nice reshot, you mentioned. Nice save and then the cut, huh? Pretty.
Is Davis on the foul. Majuk Deng spent time like many of these players in Australia, but went to community college in the United States, played some college ball at Louisiana Monroe, has been all over the Australian Basketball League over the last several years.
Yeah, Indian Hills is the junior college. Pretty good one over the years. Nice find.
Edwards to Tatum. Flying in was Davis, couldn't connect. Deng the other way.
They've done a great job balancing the floor of the USA. And as I say that, they don't shut it down. That guy's back. Quick timeout. Impressive for South Sudan.
They have the lead for the first time today. And this is a name you're going to get to know, Bill, this coming season for the Duke Blue Devils. Kaman Malawach.
Terrific. Around the glass, good rebounder, can run the floor. Saw a block the other day by him. How about this? Send it in, big fella. All the way to Durham. Ringing the bell.
In March, he signed with Duke, 17 years of age. Kaman Malawach at 7'2", grew up in the South Sudan, or was born in South Sudan, grew up in neighboring Uganda as a refugee with his siblings and his mother. He was walking down the road when a motorcyclist had stopped, saw this 7'2" young man walking along the road, and got him to the Luol Deng camp by suggesting that this young man play basketball. He's got an incredible story. I know you're going to run into him over the course of the season. You'll watch plenty of Duke basketball this year. Kaman Malawach, a name to know this coming basketball season.
And one of the reasons I failed as a coach, I didn't have a motorbike. It would have helped, right?
It's the wink that you gave me when you looked at me and said
Royale's got them playing well. Took an early hit, playing with a lot of confidence right now.
It's a
great story.
It's a wonderful story. As you said, many of these young men for the South Sudan have been all over the world, whether of their own volition or because of circumstances forcing them to do so. And making their first Olympics, Royale Ivy, the longtime NBA player, running this show now. Davis lost it, knocked out of bounds. A lot of size out there off the bench for South Sudan.
Davis, again, one of those guys that can lift a little mid-post, can step out and make a deep one. But the family crisis these kids have been able to overcome is extraordinary, to your point.
Tatum on an off-target pass from Davis, out of bounds, a turnover. There is Royale Ivy. So has been the head coach for South Sudan, taking over for Luol Deng. Luol is to his left as the lead assistant and the president for South Sudanese basketball.
Royale out of Texas, of course, Blair Academy.
Yep.
New York kid.
Both those guys played at Blair Academy. So the improving defense of Anthony Edwards, he was hassling the current Charlotte Hornet Thor. Davis knocked it away momentarily. Good save by Malawach. Taken away by Davis. Outlet feed. Adebayo with the bam.
Big time. How about that? All because of the defense. I've been so impressed. Everybody down in the stance looking to help.
Nice outlet feed from Davis for another United States assist. They have 6 of them on their 8 baskets, so a good rate going. Tough take. A left-handed floater goes down for Jackson McCoy.
How about McCoy? The real.
I always thought of you as a 90s dance fan, Bill.
I'm a fan of this guy, I'll tell you that.
Who hasn't been?
He's got some bounce in his game.
Edwards to Tatum. The kick for Halliburton. Inside of 2 minutes for the opening period. Halliburton the fake. We see so much of that with Indiana, but he was unable to finish at the rim.
He can make the 3, so you got to get tight on him.
McCoy with the kick out. Another 3. This is the former Iowa Hawkeye, Peter Jock, who can snipe.
You had him in college, I'm sure.
Many times for Fran McCaffrey. Now 5 points, South Sudanese lead, their largest thus far. Try to exploit the matchup. Davis working against Majuk Deng. The double from Jock and a whistle and a foul.
Yeah, nobody dove to the rim for him, too. Could have bailed Davis out. Been so impressed, as noted earlier, their hands, their activity, their unselfish play. And Davis with the little release here. And send it in, big fella, out of Miami. Kentucky's got a couple of kids in this game.
There's one of them in Davis. Working on the future Blue Devil Malawach. Tough turnaround, a foul, and 2 shots coming.
Yeah, that's his game, though. The mid-ranger. He doesn't have to score. His impact is, he just fills up the box score. Assists, blocks, steals.
First foul on Malawach. And that sends Anthony Davis to the free throw line. Again, you probably watched a little bit of this if you're tuning in. You've probably seen some snippets of the first few games. With the no defensive 3-second rule, it allows defenses. Obviously, France is going to have a great run with this coming up. Greece is going to take advantage of Giannis Antetokounmpo's athleticism. But Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo being able to essentially double team on the interior, deter drives, deter passes. This is going to be a very essential piece to what the United States wants to do in the Olympics.
And counter that with the defense able to jam it up. You know, he says has to cut better, dribble, drive, and distribute. They're going to get a lot of nice looks because you just can't close out quick enough.
Davis has his first 2 points. He's scored him by 12 at the 3-point line. Anthony Edwards, the defense, and the layup.
He can rag a guy. And look at Davis sprinting the floor to help out.
Here is the Hornet, JT Thor, and he draws a foul on Bam Adebayo.
We'll be talking about this defense all throughout the Olympic game. Good hands, the deflection, and here the patience. Stand the guy up, blow by, and finish. What a pleasure to watch this kid. Great personality on the floor as well. Athleticism, feel, range, you name it.
Second team selection this year in the NBA. Adebayo's second foul, sending JT Thor to the free throw line. So we mentioned Wenyen Gabriel. Thor has a decent amount of NBA experience thus far in 3 seasons. Played 60-plus games each of the last 2 years for Charlotte. Davis and Adebayo finally recoil. A 2-point South Sudanese lead.
Ball doesn't stick with this team either.
45% start from the field for the United States. League average in the NBA is about 47.
A little nickel dimer here with the hand check.
Peter Jock on the foul. Great to see Peter Jock back out there. He was an excellent college player for Fran McCaffrey and has been able to travel all over the place. Most recently playing in Canada, the elite level.
Can make threes. Trying to force him left a little bit.
Peter Jock's mother is actually a member of the South Sudanese parliament. So a very deep connection to this country, so very prideful for Jock. We saw Edwards last season during the FIBA World Cup and became an immediate factor and oftentimes the alpha on the floor for the United States.
People got to know his name quickly, though. Superior talent.
Deep playoff run for Minnesota. You see his aggressiveness against McCoy.
Nice challenge.
Forcing Dang to drive, and Dang is able to bank it home.
Yeah, good field. Big-time kiss, too. Pretty good response to aggressive D.
7 South Sudan assists on their 10 baskets. They're out shooting the United States thus far.
Oh, they got to feel satisfied getting back in this game.
Very much so.
There's that jammed up D you mentioned.
Yeah, Edwards is looking for an alley. He'll step back for 3, and that will not count, I believe, just past the buzzer on the putback by Davis. So South Sudan has the lead through one quarter.
I think it was going in. Davis a little premature of a little step back, and the right call, I think, too, as well. But give a little confidence to the opponent. South Sudan has done a terrific job. Dribble, drive, and finding.
LeBron James got off to a good start. He led the way with 6 points and 4 rebounds, but it's South Sudan on top by 2. They've got the 2-point lead at the start of the second. Great sign there. Working on excellence is what WOE means for Curry, but South Sudan trying to do its best Curry imitation from the outside.
They have been efficient, too. Any drop coverage, been able to kick it. They're going to rely on the threes, but it's off the dribble drive and kick. But even here, the spacing's been excellent. Played with a lot of confidence to get back in this.
4 of their 10 shots made were from three-point range. The United States struggled from the outside in a game that is predicated at the international level on the three-point shot. The U.S. took many more, 36 attempts against Serbia compared to the average of about 23 to 26 in the first 2 contests.
They've kept Jones out of the lane. It's one of the few times he's gotten the touch.
Only 2 touches in the paint, and then he's able to kick it out, and Shayok hits his second 3. South Sudan has a 5-point lead on their 5th 3.
You cannot overhelp.
The spacing so essential at this level. Now Gabriel and Davis, a couple of former Lakers, bang away there. A foul on Wenyen.
Anytime you get a touch to the lane, everybody sneaks a peek a little bit. Nice movement to get the open look. Late challenge, a little nylon.
Well, you said it. Jones, obviously a great scorer for South Sudan at FIBA, but was also the tournament leader in assists. That is where he is essential for South Sudan to have success inside.
And Shayok's so good as Davis gets a good look with the jump hook. Shayok's so good knocking down those threes and getting available.
So Halliburton is on Jones. It's a switch with the bigger Adebayo. The pull-up by Carlik Jones.
Sticking it.
His first points after he had 3 dimes already. One of the top players in the NBA G League. In fact, the top scorer in the G League and an MVP a couple of years ago. Edwards, the step through.
How about that crossover? Effective in the lane.
After South Sudan had taken its largest lead at 7, now back down to 5.
Well, they're playing with some confidence. Good ball movement.
And a deep one from Omat.
Oh, my goodness. Can't relax. They're a catch-and-shoot team.
It is an 8-point advantage for South Sudan. Edwards being hassled that time by Shayak, who was known as a solid defender in his time at Iowa State. A lot of transferring from Virginia.
A lot of settling. Halbert with a hustle play.
And Edwards way off target, and a foul on Carlik Jones as Adebayo grabbed the offensive board.
Yeah, excuse me, Tatum with some good hustle. And right here, just a little dribble drive, dance, knock it down, bam. Going flat-footed. Again, availability, a little screen, opens it up. Terrific. Oh, my, drill it.
They've made 12 of their last 15 shots. Meanwhile, the United States holding Serbia, obviously predicated on their ball movement with Jokic at 41%. So far, a 59% clip for South Sudan.
All of a sudden, USA settling for shots. There's a little flex cut, back straight to the box.
Tatum out of the ISO. Davis tried to tap it, run down by Halliburton. So now Tatum going to try to penetrate into the teeth of the defense, and he draws a foul.
A good play by him, too. Not settling for the 3. Get himself into the game a little bit.
4 was in there. Cole picks up the foul. And the newly minted NBA champion with the fresh cut, Jason Tatum, goes to the line. And this the penultimate exhibition showcase game before the United States plays Germany on Monday. And then they will have South Sudan in their group, along with Puerto Rico and Serbia in Group C.
I know you, with your research, saw this where they don't have an indoor gym that they could practice in. It's just amazing.
South Sudan has had to practice in multiple countries.
Right.
They were practicing in Rwanda for a little while. This is a team that has not been given or handed anything. Carlik Jones got it to go.
And over Davis as well.
With real rim protection underneath, Jones is able to find another 2. Tough drive by Davis, left it short, tapped alive into the hands of Quoll. Running his 4.
Oh, he missed him in the corner, too.
And Jones unable to hit the 3.
Oh, he had Shayak in the other corner. They are hustling. An extra look.
And Shayak misfires, and the rebound to the United States and Adebayo.
Boy, he was wide open.
Oh. They go right down to Davis, knocked away by Quoll.
Competing.
Well, this was a problem these last couple of games for the U.S. The turnovers, a challenge by Adebayo as Thor will draw the foul.
They're going to get the attention of the USA right now. This team playing well, unselfishly, playing with a lot of confidence, too. Anytime you can spread a team with these dribble drives, this is a great finish. You don't get the layup, you find somebody in the corner 3. And right here, the activity, the hands, boy, they are feisty.
Adebayo's picked up 3 fouls now. You only get 5 at the international level. And JT Thor is heading to the line. Was born in Nebraska, but raised in Anchorage. Went to high school in West Virginia and Georgia, but both of his parents are from the South Sudan.
And you haven't left Chicago in your lifetime.
These kids, I mean, you said it, the strife, the trials, the tribulations, it's a truly wonderful story, regardless of what you watch in terms of basketball. Obviously, I'm very biased towards Luol Deng with his wonderful years in service in Chicago. But the thing that we always knew about Luol was he was a humanitarian away from the floor. And what he's done for Basketball Without Borders, what he's done for basketball in Sudan, in Africa, working with Joakim Noah and several other wonderful humanitarians for this game. It is quite the story to see what South Sudan is doing. Again, making its first Olympic run, getting prepared next week. And Royale Ivy's done a really nice job these last 3 years as that coach.
And Deng, with his foundation, has done an incredible job for the youth of that country.
A foul discrepancy here, because again, it was important to note if it was on Adebayo. It is, as of now, the third on Adebayo. And here is JT Thor. Worked himself into that young Charlotte Hornets rotation. Only played about 30 games as a rookie, but 60 plus the last couple of years, each of the last 2 years. That's a fun group. Mark Williams and JT Thor adding some length and size. Obviously, they played well with LaMelo Ball.
I'm sure they've brought a lot of confidence to this team, too, having played against these USA guys.
Absolutely. And you see a 3 on Adebayo now. The starting 5 are back in with Holiday, James, Embiid, Booker, and Curry. It's LeBron on the drive, tapped out of bounds by the Sudanese. And 10 on the shot clock.
Yeah, they were trying to have a set play with Steph with a back screen and a pop.
United States 1 for 9 from three-point range. Let's see if Curry can snap him out of it. 1 for 10. Jones with an excellent rebound from the guard spot.
This is whether it's a fun play.
That is Cole. Misses, but draws the foul.
Cole with a nice play getting down the floor. They push it and take advantage of any of those looks. The dribble, kick, and right now just get them organized. Don't take the 3, but the closeout, not as effective. Blew by. They're tough, playing with confidence.
Absolutely. Embiid picks up his second. It's the second on the U.S. Small sample size because this was about the time against Serbia where the United States picked it up, certainly. But we're seeing some issues with turnovers, seeing some issues with spacing, and at times the ball sticking a little bit, which is what we really saw the first 2 games for the U.S., and then we saw a better adjustment against Serbia.
I think they're actually shocked and surprised.
Sure.
These kids are playing with a lot of confidence, getting things done on the offensive end, kicking the ball. And early in the game, USA moving, spacing, cutting, gotten away from it.
So Bull Cole and went to, as many of these young men did, high school in Australia. There's a large immigration for about a decade from Sudan to Australia. It's why there's such a high percentage of South Sudanese that are raised and go to high school in Australia.
Scraping, and look at this.
Carly Jones finding Shayok, who had to adjust as he stumbled a little bit, but suddenly it's a 12-point lead for South Sudan.
Getting USA's attention here, sloppy with the ball.
It is Curry. That won't go. It is a 1 for 11 three-point shooting start for the U.S. Juke Deng with Shayok, Cole, Jones, and Thor. A 14-4 start in the second quarter for South Sudan.
Yeah, Deng brings a lot of energy. Jones gets to the rim.
And 1 for Carly Jones, who is feeling himself right now.
He loves to go right, but that time so effective going left. Goodness, they are impressive early. Little dribble drive, lead him to the big guy, but a heck of a delivery with the kiss.
Booker the foul. Carly Jones, we've already waxed poetic on this young man, originally from Cincinnati. First went to Radford, had a great couple of years, transfers to Louisville, all ACC, and was a dynamite scorer in the G League for the Windy City Bulls. And he's put South Sudan up by 15 points. A shocking first 14 minutes so far.
He had double-doubles, 3 of them in the World Cup, too.
Huge scorer, huge assist guy. Embiid finally snaps the funk.
This is where they're going to get back in it. On this end of the floor. Stay at home on the shooters.
They've got Holiday on Jones with the nice Ezzy. High off window. Curry the rebound and the push. This is what this lineup was doing in the first quarter, trying to push the pace.
Nice pass.
Curry backdoor for Booker. It is James. LeBron has to kick it out. It's a mismatch with Embiid on the smaller, much smaller Jones.
Nice
Good
help.
double by Cole, and he forces another United States turnover, Bill.
Boy, they are on a string here defensively. Helping one another out. Not a good look there. That's what they did early, the earlier games. A lot of passes between the offensive people. Not as sound as they were last game.
Whistling a foul as Holiday was hassling Jones. That's questionable for the contest today. Likely will play Monday for his lone tune-up for the Olympics. That's where the call should be made. Out of bounds was Cole, that foot, when he made contact with the ball. There is Durant, so a strained calf during warm-ups, or during workouts, I should say, in June. That had kept him out. He returned to practice this past week. Was hoping to get some action at some point this weekend. Was out on the floor during warm-ups. Looked fairly comfortable and confident. Was moving well.
Loves the game, this kid. He's a baller, as they say. Ever since he set foot on the University of Texas campus, used to go back there, get guys up at 5 in the morning after he had left and got into the NBA. Get him up, get him working. Did Steph win the argument? I guess he did.
Seemingly, it should be United States basketball, and it is. Durant, the all-time leading Olympic scorer in United States history, trying to become the first 4-time United States gold medalist in basketball on the men's side, and he'll have an opportunity coming up. Halfway through this second period, a 13-point South Sudan lead. What has been a little bit of a shocker thus far.
Scatter report, not paid attention to, really. Getting beat down the floor for some open looks. Finding people off the bounce. Oh, they got a discard here.
Curry was trying to battle through Bull Cole, who lived up to the name there. And that'll take us to a timeout on the floor. LeBron and Curry teaming up for the first time at the Olympics. They're down 13, though. Inside, Majuk Deng will pick up the foul.
Yeah, that's what they have to do. Be a little more physical, a little more post-up.
Trying to find the bottom of the well.
Yeah.
1 for 11 from 3.
Good shots by and large, too.
Sure. From good shooters, as well. Curry has hit the only one for the U.S. Embiid of the U.S. Both teams, in fact, in the bonus for the rest of the period.
Joel, as you get along in the tournament here, the Olympics, he's going to have to do a really good job defensively because the ability of screening by bigs and popping. I think you'll see Davis in those situations more.
The quickness on defense in this international game that's so predicated on spacing. That's why Davis and Adebayo are such keys off the bench. There is this young Factor Blue Devil, Malawach.
They're talking about him inside with a little jump hook, stepping out, drilling.
And Malawach got back defensively. He may have been the man who ends up with the foul as Majuk Deng joined on the defense against Embiid. It is the second on Malawach.
Well, they are playing with such confidence right here. A nice little use of the bump. How about that? Screen, turn, catch, drill.
So right back to the free throw line, Embiid. He is 2 of 4 thus far. 6 points, 3 rebounds, and a pair of assists.
You like to say USA is sluggish, but I just think the pep and the step of the South Sudanese is just incredible.
I think that may have been the thing that surprised the U.S. the most.
Yeah, alarming, really.
This time he knocks down both. 8 points to lead the United States for Embiid.
They are quick to the offensive glass as well. With threes, that's an important product.
Holiday watches Jackson McCoy, who's now at the controls, with Carlik Jones having played 12 minutes on the bench. Tough shot for Shayok. Here comes James trying to find space in the open floor, and the Sudanese get back quickly. And continue to hassle James, who's had turnover issues in this first half. Oh, trying to find Majuk Deng on the run out, but out of bounds. Both teams have had the turnover bug early.
Scrappy on the defensive end, though. USA loose with the ball as well.
Right back to Embiid against Kaman Malawach. The double from Deng. The rotation for the U.S. Curry the fake. And he draws that foul. Jackson McCoy, who came flying out. That will send Curry to the line.
Much better ball movement. That's typical, more typical of the way they play. Things were sticking a little bit.
NBA average for three-point attempts during a game is right in the mid-30s. International level, you sometimes see it even higher than that, sometimes into the high 30s, even into the 40s, with certain teams, depending on which country you're playing, as Jones is going to come back in for South Sudan. Not to say that the U.S. has to match that because of the talent and versatility, but these shots have to go down first and foremost.
Right.
The ball movement has to be paramount, and I think the U.S. is still a little bit in that feeling out process.
I'll tell you, the impact is that the closeouts are much longer.
Sure.
And that's part of the issue. That last trip, the ball movement, Steph actually had a pretty good look, and a little sidestep gets him to the free throw line.
Is that the lane size that has the most impact for the long closeout?
I think it's the overhelp.
Okay.
And jamming it up. Okay. So it's probably both.
Curry had the defense on Jones, who finds Deng on a nifty feed. It's Embiid with JT4 and the double from Deng. The double teams are really causing problems for the U.S. Another turnover.
Not reacting well at all.
Good job by Booker to get on top of Shea.
Yeah, he was ready to lose.
Holiday right back on Carlik Jones. Such a cog for the South Sudanese team.
Look at the open middle, so you got to stay at home on a tough shot.
Wow, Shea puts it down while Booker was hassling him defensively.
Well, they are playing confidently.
That's an angry drive by James.
A message, maybe.
8 points for LeBron, who cannot be pleased with this United States first half.
South Sudan now closing out this half. I think is important to them. USA trying to step it up a little bit.
Booker on defense, running with Holiday. And Drew puts it home.
And relax. Quick timeout. If they're going to get back in it, it's that defensive end.
A little bit of a defensive surge, and you've said this twice already in this half, Bill. It has to start at the defensive end of the floor.
Too talented. Too many guys contribute. Look at this. Aggressive D and knocking that shot down. A little more D helps the USA.
Ranked team in the FIBA rankings. The U.S. is #1. This is going to be a very impressive showcase for the Germans. That's coming up on Monday. This has been a problem throughout as the United States still tries to find that rhythm and chemistry with this group.
And this team is playing with a lot of confidence, South Sudan. Jones back on the floor. Instrumental, really, in getting the lead.
And trying to get into the paint. He does against Davis.
That's what they do. Kick out
and Shea.
And get a look. You cannot leave the three-point shooter.
Quickness and three-point shooting for South Sudan has been a major factor. Good ball movement and an angry Edwards jam.
Boy, making them pay for that rotation.
So this is the first time we're seeing this five on the floor together tonight. James, Booker, and Curry with Edwards and Davis. And James trying to stick with Jones, and Carlik Jones is not afraid of anybody.
Wow, he'll be looking at this tape.
James, the spin, into traffic, and a foul.
Once he makes his mind up, clear it. He's going to take you right to the rim.
Well, Carlik Jones, I got a chance to see him up close. He's trying to earn a full-time spot. He's played 12 NBA games. He's putting tape together to make it back to the league.
He sure. What a finish here. You can just see lifting everybody, plenty of room to roam. And if you sort of stop the dribbler, the spot-up shooter's available.
Leads the way with 9 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. Shayok's got 14 to lead South Sudan, but Jones is, as you might say, is the straw that stirs the drink.
I have not heard that.
No, not once. It's a very old adage.
They've done a nice job when he was on the bench as well.
Again, some of the depth for South Sudan has been on display. This is a roster that came in with 25 players, several of whom, there's 4 now on the active roster today that have NBA experience, but several on the 25-man had a good amount of NBA experience, certainly a lot of EuroLeague and Australian Basketball League, National Basketball League experience. So
trying to prove something, really.
And it was tough to cut down to this roster today. So the challenge and the depth, impressive for Deng and Ivy and company. A minute left in the second. It's Thor separating from Davis.
How about that? Again, one-on-one. Really to take their guy, whether it's to the rim or the jumper to step back.
shooting 63%. Curry misses. It's 1 for 12 for the U.S. James the rebound and out of bounds off Curry.
Well, they are off out of sync here right now. You had mentioned the inability to make threes. Some wide open. But look at this. Step. Taking advantage of the larger, taller Davis. Thor.
Sunday Detch got a quick run. 1 minute on the floor. He goes right back to the bench.
If you're South Sudan, you wish you could just continue playing. No halftime break. They are in sync and fluid.
To be a fly on the wall for Steve Kerr's thoughts at halftime. Tough drive and a foul drawn by JT Thor as he ran towards Booker.
I think you're right. Booker trying to stop it.
Second on Devin Booker.
They are perplexed, just like that look on LeBron's face. His team was all business. I think of what they had to get through to get here. I mean, it's just amazing. Put this team together, play with this confidence, the movement.
Established just 13 years ago. The nickname for the South Sudanese is the Bright Stars. And it seems like it's very fitting considering some of the talent we've seen and how exceptionally well they've played for at least a half thus far, leading by 16, their largest lead. JT Thor's done good stuff off the bench. 6 points for the former Auburn Tiger. Edwards, James, LeBron, aggressive.
How about that? How did he stay in the air that long, able to finish on the reverse?
A chance at a three-point play and a foul against South Sudan on Detch.
Probably watch them press at the end of this, see if they can get another one after the free throw. Boy, he is strong. Goodness. Lower that shoulder.
Called the foul on Detch. It didn't seem like he was actually connected to the play. Maybe they'll change that. Either way, James leading the charge with a dozen. They've scored 20 points in this quarter, 10 at the free throw line. Missing that one. Here comes Jones against James. Final seconds. Fires it up. Will not go. But still a shocker at the O2 Arena in London through 20 minutes of play. South Sudan with the advantage at halftime by double digits. And oh boy, to hear that man's thoughts on the break.
How about that? Jones getting wherever he wants to go. Unselfish play. They have looked terrific.
Getting set for its Olympic debut next week. South Sudan with a 58-44 lead on the reigning four-time gold medalist United States. Presented by Nike, the road to the Olympics, which begin next week for the U.S. Las Vegas economy still hasn't recovered since Bill Raftery left after the victory over Canada. 8,000-mile trip over to Abu Dhabi for a tight win against Australia and a great second half against Serbia. Another about 3,700 miles up to London for the final two contests. And you can take the plane if you want, but it's only about a 2-hour and 20-minute train ride underground if you want to make it over to Paris, which will be the site of the Olympics, where the United States will open up play in Lille against Serbia next Sunday. They need to recover here, a showcase game to try to get back into this, hoping for a similar second half to what we saw a couple of days ago against Serbia.
That travel suits you, by the way, that private jet, I know.
Of course.
They are struggling, no question about it. Tatum has not gotten into the flow recently. Of course, Booker, another guy, they're expecting to make some shots. Anthony Davis has been quiet. It'll be interesting to see if they change the lineup a little, whether Embiid stays on the floor. They're just not really solid on the offensive end. And again, the hustle and bustle defensively by South Sudan, playing with a lot of confidence, getting those runouts, those early looks.
The questions that Steve Kerr was going to face was mainly about rotations. It was different at FIBA when Steve took over last year during the summertime. It was the younger group. It was mostly made up of young, budding players in the NBA. Jalen Brunson and Mikal Bridges, players of that ilk. Hasn't been a ton of carryover from the FIBA roster to this one, where it's Hall of Fame caliber talent, all NBA caliber talent mixed throughout. Multiple gold medal winners on this U.S. team. Edwards was an alpha on that FIBA team, now has to take a little bit of a different role. And it seems like through 3.5 exhibition games only, they're still seeking that rhythm.
And just how you see White on the floor is a good example, illustration of what you're talking about, giving everybody an opportunity. Trying to figure out rotations, I think, is the key to all these exhibition games. In the meantime, you obviously want to win.
Because all these international teams, these countries that play at this level, that play with these rules, that play with this pace over the course of every tournament, year in and year out, and develop a little bit more chemistry, because many of those players play in that system from the time that they're 16 years old and grow into the national team. The United States has to make quick adjustments to that starting next week, and probably starting now, frankly.
Well, they had the 4 days in Vegas, and one they didn't do anything. And now it's just getting a little flow, trying to get different bodies on the floor. And I think this guy is in to contain your guy, Jones.
Derek White, who was the replacement for Kawhi Leonard, is on the floor to start. So they'll go with a bench unit here. White, Davis, Adebayo, Tatum, and Edwards. White is basically taking the spot of Halliburton with this unit. Here is Edwards. Takes the jumper, will not go. The tap back by Adebayo into the hands of Davis, and he got it home.
Bam, kept it alive. Able to finish for Davis.
Carly Jones was outstanding in that first half. No surprise as he feeds inside for the running Wenyen Gabriel, a whistle and a foul.
They're having trouble with the open middle, whether it's the cut or the drive. Very confusing. A nice little cut and dive to the rim there.
Edwards picked up his first foul. Jones with 9.6 assists, 6 rebounds in the first half from the guard spot. Davis with the block though this time.
Oh, bad gamble.
Jones recovers, fires, and off the heel. And it's tipped alive for Adebayo. Here's Edwards working on Gabriel. Good defense by Wenyen. Tatum on Omat.
Strand right in one. That upper body. Again, Davis just spread a little bit, gave that open alley for Tatum to get to the rim.
First field goal for Jason Tatum.
It might get him going, too. Been a little sluggish of late.
Well, you said spread, and it's so essential for drives because, again, for those of you who maybe aren't familiar with it, no defensive 3 second. So you can jam 2 defenders near the rim at almost any given moment. So you have to spread the floor offensively to allow for drives.
Absolutely, the camp out. Conversely, at this end, the same prevails.
Yep. Derek White trying to make an impact in his first minutes.
White gets one on the pin down.
Working against Gabriel. Derek White, who just signed a major extension.
Another great story when you think of it, right? Junior college, then to Colorado.
Tad Boyle making something of him. Derek White had one scholarship offer at 6 feet tall from Jeff Culver at D2 Colorado Springs. Had the growth spurt before he ever played a college game. 2-time All-American at the Division II level before going to Colorado. Good defense by Tatum.
Yeah, good hands.
Shayok, though, has been hot. Flies in.
Goody with the finish.
The former Baylor Bear. A little growl at the rim.
And that's in the scatter report, too. They do crash beautifully.
There is Tatum. Into Gabriel. Turnaround jumper. Tough shot. Davis battling. Davis's effort draws a foul eventually, as Adebayo was left hanging.
Yeah, they got a scrap. How about this? You take this one. Pretty impressive. Leave the chandelier. Nobody's sticking one another. Part of the scatter report was make sure you put a body on them. Great anticipation. Oh, my goodness.
The 2023 African League MVP was the champion for Al Ahly, which is the team based out of Cairo, won their first African League title. He was impressive during the qualifiers last February that got South Sudan to the World Cup, and then played very well during the World Cup to help them qualify for the Olympics.
And the first note they give you in the scouting report is he loves to crash the glass.
Does he now? There he was again. Anunwa Omat, Nooni, as he's known. Davis, it's a pair. He's got 6 points now. Go along with 6 rebounds, but just 1 of 6 from the field. The United States shooting 41%. Sudan, 57%.
Nice step through.
Shifted, though, by Davis, who came over for the recovery on defense.
What a great read.
Both players with nice work there.
Absolutely. Even defensively here, the containment in the lane and then the step through. Big time bailout.
That's what you saw so much of against Serbia. That secondary help from Anthony Davis, who played a lot this year. Has always been the narrative has always been he's injury prone. He played a lot of games this season, missed a minimal amount, and was in the lineup just about as often as he could be for the Lakers. Played a high number of games. Inside off the inbound, it's good for Cole. Excellent out-of-bounds play.
Overload right, nice dive.
And Carly Jones continues to distribute 7 assists for the G League MVP. White to a wide-open Edwards. Omat missed it that time, and finally the U.S. hits a 3, just their second on 14 tries.
And the first time a little faulty closeout by Omat.
And what had been a double-digit South Sudanese lead for quite some time is down to 8. A near turnover by Cole. Gabriel with a traveling violation against his former Laker teammate Davis.
Much more attuned, much more alert. Nice little dive to the rim. There's that inbounds pass. Being prepared for it. Nice look here. Big time chest pass. And Edwards gets it going.
He's got 11 points now. Looking for more. Left it short. The defensive Shayok. Nice save by Wenyan Gabriel. Jones looking for his 8th assist. It's a Cole triple, rebounded by one of the best rebounding guards in the NBA in Derek White.
Now you can see why you got to get back and identify. They love that corner jack 3.
Into Davis against Gabriel. The shifty maneuvering in the deuce.
Took advantage of size.
Against the South Sudanese starting 5, they're smaller. They're bigger off the bench, so I think now's the time to exploit that matchup. Carly Jones off the dribble. Rebounded by Davis.
USA playing a lot more confidence now. A little flow to their game.
Going with the bench unit to start the second half. Looking for a big to big, and they take advantage of another mismatch with the guard Jones.
Good ball movement, no question about it. Jones caught down low. Playing with a little juice right now. This is just beautiful footwork, poise, the ability to finish both ends of the floor. Davis plays like this. This is a different unit.
The U.S. has trimmed the lead down to a half dozen. Unit to start this second half, and it has played with energy so far.
They have been solid, much more aggressive, offensive-minded ball movement. Both ends of the floor are a little bit different. I think the quickness of Davis in the lineup changes the look quite a bit. Of course, Bam, just a solid kid defensively. Has showed signs offensively on a consistent basis during this tournament as well.
It's a 13-4 start to the third quarter for the United States after going with all bench unit players and adding Derek White to the mix.
I think their coverage has improved as well. Has gotten them back in this.
Well, South Sudan had missed 4 shots the entire second quarter. They've just gone 2 for 9, so 7 missed shots here in the third.
They're much more of a challenge on shots. Automatic switching.
Well, that's the other thing with this lineup, a little bit more defensive versatility. Maluaj, the future Blue Devil, knocks down a 3.
And you can just see Davis caught too much distance on the closeout.
Back up to a 7-point lead for the South Sudanese. The last United States lead was 16-15 past the halfway point of the first. Adebayo against the smaller Shayok. The double by Jones.
Nice look.
For Tatum, for Davis. would not go. Got his own miss and draws the foul.
Boy, he is possessed so much more activity. The ability defensively, they have been in tune on this particular play. We're going to end up with Davis not being able to close out. So looking to help. Just a little dribble drive. Gee, with a bile on him. Could have stayed right at home. And Bam was in good position to contain.
Well, you said it, though, the longer closeouts, right? That was another step. Maybe at the NBA level, based on spacing, Davis doesn't have, or with that same gait, he probably ends up with the closeout. But with the spacing here, a little bit tougher to get all the way out.
And South Sudan really wisely making the pass, too. Taking advantage.
You think that made John Shire smile a little bit when he sees Malawach knocking down a triple?
You know, I didn't see that in watching the games that they played, or at least the game the other day.
Against Great Britain?
Yeah, a little jump hook is about all you saw, and a tremendous shot block.
JT Thor had 11 good minutes in the first half. He'll come in for Omad, who has been really solid with 9 points and 4 rebounds. Davis's free throws have cut the lead down to 5. 6 of his 9 boards on the offensive end so far. Edwards on Jones. Switch with this lineup with Davis.
A little staggered Thor.
This fires on a 3. Long rebound. Malawach saved it, but 2 on Bio.
Nice give.
Tatum lost it on the crossover attempt. Another U.S. turnover. Leads to a Shea triple, his 4th of the game.
Boy, they burn you on that early transition. Lighten it up. Great delivery on the pass.
Ariel Shayok, former Virginia Cavalier and Iowa State Cyclone, with 17 points in an excellent performance. Edwards can't answer on the rebound to Malawach, and he gets fouled.
Right with the reach in. A little bit of a settle on those jumpers. Turnovers leading to open floor opportunities. Kick it out. How about this look, too? Jones has been excellent. Shayok to light them up. Boy, transition D, a major issue, particularly in the first half.
So now the U.S. is going to go back to its starting lineup here.
That was a good run. Dissipate a little with some shot selection.
Holiday, James, Embiid, Booker, and Curry, the same starting 5 from the opening exhibition game against Canada started today. No Kevin Durant yet. Holiday on Jones, looking for the deuce, and somehow got his own miss against James. Shayok looking for another triple.
How about him spotting up and the recognition to kick it out?
The guy who's in 2 career threes at the NBA level has knocked down 5 of 8 and has 20 points today.
Look out, they're jamming it up, letting it force in the deep shot, taking advantage of LeBron.
Just the 3rd United States 3 on 16 tries. A big one for James.
Right now, South Sudan has their attention.
Oh, man, Shayok, a heat check 3. Rebounded eventually by Embiid, who stumbles to get it to Booker. And Devin Booker trying to get it going, running into 2 defenders.
Nice call. Holiday alert on the cut, but great vision. A big fella.
Second dime for LeBron James. Lead back down to 6. It is Thor drawing the contact on Embiid and 1.
Oh, I got to know it's his left hand, too. Got to take it away. Really attack gets the big guy backpedaling, but right here, look at this dive to the rim. Excellent vision. They are not going away, are they?
No.
Not relinquishing this lead. Playing with such exuding confidence.
JT Thor, excellent work off the bench. 9 points, couple of assists. The length on defense that a lot of these guys see when they play the Charlotte Hornets. James, they gave him a lot of space to get to the paint, getting the defense in the air, and Thor came over with the block.
That is where they hurt you in the early offense.
It's Thor against the smaller Holiday and a reach-in foul. Bonus action for both teams, so 2 shots for JT Thor.
Boy, how impressive they've been, but here's the little drop step. Everybody converse. A little power at the rim, but not backing off at all. You can see that. You got to kick that one out. Somebody spaced up, get a nice clean look.
Thor's dropped the hammer with a double-digit effort off the bench.
Back up to 10. Took the hit.
U.S. got to within 5 points. And right back up to an 11-point South Sudanese advantage. It's James with Majuk Deng guarding. Curry moving away from the ball to get the three.
He circled the floor, step, nice bumps on the baseline. LeBron with the patience to find him. Step, delivers.
Typical Steph Curry. Arguably the best in the NBA moving without the basketball. Quick trigger from Deng off the Jones feed, and it should be United States ball. It is. And Curry wants to go.
He sprinted the whole floor. Look at the series of bumps. Just able to read it. Quick catch and stick.
9 points for Curry. The U.S., after that 12-2 start, has not had a run of more than 4 points. Impressive from the South Sudanese defensively.
Yeah, no flow.
Mismatch. Curry, step back. No. Embiid slaps it out. Booker saves it for another chance. Here is Booker. Into the teeth of Thor. Left it short. And last touched by Booker. It'll be South Sudan ball.
Well, they've done a pretty good job collectively, defensively. Thor keeps him in front. They're just aggressive, both ends of the floor.
There it is. Majuk Deng working against Holiday. Bigger part, Jackson Poole working against Holiday, who knocked it free and saved it to James. What a play by Drew Holiday. James with the jam and a foul. A flex from LeBron James to try to reignite the United States.
They get back in it. It's got to be on the D. A terrific play right here. Just look at this strength. The quickness. 39. My goodness. Jack Benny would envy him.
And Drew Holiday reinserted into the starting lineup, trying to make the impact at the end of the floor where he has been relied upon by so many championship caliber teams and 2 title teams in this decade already. Gets the steal to start the break for James.
Boy, that flex reminded me of you at the pregame meal.
I was very excited about that sandwich. 5-point game as we approach 106 for the third. A much more spirited effort.
Much so. Much more so.
Holiday against Thor. Oh, he's hassling him here. Thor trying to get free, and he ends up traveling. Excellent defensive work by Drew Holiday.
That's his trademark. They're just willing to stick his nose there, compete. There's he and White. What contributors to the championship for the Celtics?
It was not an easy decision to part ways from Milwaukee with Drew Holiday because of how impactful he was, not only at both ends of the floor, but in that locker room for Milwaukee.
You saw enough of him, right? Chicago?
4 times a year, and he would hassle the Bulls and hassle a lot of NBA teams with his two-way play. 90 seconds for the third. James with space, looking for Curry. Flip back to James. Got in the air, found Holiday behind the back, fires the jumper, and kicks.
Well, you can see a different LeBron. It's a really solid play. Being unselfish, finishing when necessary, finding people.
Shayaka, another heat check 3. The U.S. on its longest run of the game. They've scored the last 8. Looking for more. It's Booker. He ties the game at 76 on an 11-0 United States run.
And the fingerprints of LeBron all over this quarter. And what a great look.
In a flash of 2 minutes, after trailing since past the midway point of the first, that's a deep 4-3, knocked out of bounds by Malawach, and it's U.S. ball with 39 seconds to play in a much better effort here in the third quarter, much like we saw against Serbia.
It is the D, and also now the pressure. Should I take the shot? Am I willing to take the shot? Just stepping it up.
Remember, this starting five did not start the second half. The bench unit did good work to begin this third quarter. And since the return of the starting five, they played with much more spirit.
Bench group showed a lot of emotion.
16 points from that bench unit in this third. James looking for that bounce for Booker, and it ricochets out with 18 to shoot.
And Steph really did a great job out at the three-point line, cutting, just missed him.
U.S. has not led since 16-15 at the 3:46 mark of the opening quarter. Shea got his hands on it. Curry runs it down. A very deep Curry three. Wow. 40 United States lead.
Early dagger.
That ignites the crowd in London. It is Shayok to answer. After his 5 threes, he's now missed 3 in a row.
Boy, they have showed some character, though. This club, USA, look at this shot. Getting them organized, he knew. The bench getting a bang out of it, and why not?
Not many have the range. It's LeBron. Off to Embiid. Got it back and scored it to beat the buzzer. And the United States, after a 44-point first half, puts up 37 in the third to regain the advantage against the very impressive young South Sudanese group.
The D brings a smile on the face, but the ability to finish, a different spirit. Defense igniting. Occasionally the dagger by Steph.
Nike, at Big Ben along the River Thames in London, where the United States perhaps finally woke up late night in London after a sluggish 2 quarters. The bench unit starts the third quarter with some effort, and the starting unit with a strong close, a 16-point spurt to close the frame.
That's more of their personality. They got a little rhythm, a little flow in their game, a little confidence, a little more aggressive defensively. Just an incredible period by a lot of people.
Curry was able to hit a couple of threes. Remember, the U.S. was broke from three-point range in the first half. They made 1. They hit 5 of them in that third quarter. Suddenly a 5-point United States lead, their largest since their 12-2 start to this game. Here is Cole. Jones was stymied in that third quarter, Bill. You told me during the break, and you're right.
It didn't call his name at all. And B with a pretty good defensive set this trip.
Yep.
Showed big, recovered.
Had to switch on multiple players. Now he goes right down against the smaller Jones.
Good read. Haven't seen much of that. Low post up.
We said it when it's 4 or 5 starters for South Sudan. They're smaller. Well, we probably haven't seen enough exploitation of that by the United States. Into the hands of Peter Jock. Missed the putback attempt.
LeBron's been a big factor in his flow, too.
And he finds Holiday 4 on 3. In and out. Rebound to Carly Jones, who has 9 rebounds, 9 assists, 9 points. Jock, a triple try. His second of the night.
First faulty recovery. They've been getting back, staying on the shooters. Good find, good delivery.
That is the 10th Carly Jones assist. As much as we praised South Sudan in the first half, Carly Jones should be a name all of you remember. Embiid knocks it down.
Nice 2-man play. Steph Cole trying to be physical with Steph Curry on the other end.
There is Cole. Now Jones against Holiday, using that screen from Gabriel.
This is where you got to stay at home.
Embiid against the guard. Jones tries to work off the dribble. Put back is into Wenyen Gabriel.
A nice job there. Of course, the D was attracted to the dribble.
It is Booker short. Rebound to Jones, his 10th. It's a double-double for Carly Jones. And if he scores a point, That is going to be a historic triple-double for Carlik Jones in South Sudan.
He may get a spot in the league the way he's playing.
It is Gabriel for 40. The bank is open in London. They refuse to go away. This is the scrappiness we saw in the first half.
Big-time kiss.
Most experienced NBA player for South Sudan. And his former teammate with the Lakers, LeBron James, hits the 7th U.S. three.
He has been magnificent, particularly this period.
They're 6th of the half. Chalk looking for another. That's short. Booker the rebound. Cole trying to stand up. Bull trying to stand up LeBron James. James taking on the challenge.
Showing it all. Deft with the left.
LeBron with 21, his best offensive game, along with 6 rebounds and 6 assists.
I say he still got it.
A traveling violation here against Omat.
So versatile, so many areas of the floor that LeBron can decimate you. In depth with either hand, stepping back for a 3, guarding at the other end. So great leadership qualities, big time, southpaw delivery.
Well, LeBron James, at age 39, the oldest player in United States Olympic history when he takes the floor next week. A 4-time champion, 4-time finals MVP. But as you mentioned, that 2008 Redeem team, where he essentially co-anchored that group with Kobe Bryant, who was the captain of that team, that reignited this current 4 straight gold medal run for the United States.
The whole attitude sort of was resurrected, I think. And we're talking about Mike Krzyzewski, Jerry Colangelo, General Dempsey, Sean Ford, Julie. It's just amazing what he can still do at this level. It just took over that period and gave him a lesson.
Steve Kerr going with the bench unit to start the second half, maybe sending a little bit of a message, perhaps just trying to change the energy. He certainly did, and a lot of that bench unit is now back on the floor, which performed so well to start the second half.
And Bam on the floor, he gave him good minutes.
So did Derek White. And Carlik Jones right up against him, forcing him out of bounds. So White does turn the ball over.
Tough catch for him, though.
Yep.
Put him in a disadvantaged position.
We're still keeping track, though, of Carlik Jones, who has already done some historic things in his short stint with the South Sudanese national team in the last 18 months. Another point will give him the rarest of rare, the triple-double for South Sudan. And looking for it here. There it is, a triple-double for Carlik Jones.
Well, a nice set play, too. The handoff and then the aggressive drive.
Nice move by Derek White to find Anthony Davis, and it just rimmed out, but a foul.
Nice pass by White, and a good read by Davis as well. Here's a little dribble handoff, a little hesitation. The ward off with the left shoulder. He has been terrific.
No player in FIBA World Cup history had ever put together a triple-double as of last year. Jones was 1 rebound shy of doing it last year during the World Cup. Obviously, this is an exhibition game.
Right.
But again, I watched this guy in Chicago. I watched him with the Windy City Bulls scrap his way to try to get opportunities, and I hope some GM somewhere is thinking I could use a player like Carlik Jones, undersized guard with a big heart.
Listen, you should be his agent.
Pitching him hard, I guess, tonight. Well, he's earned it tonight. If I am his agent, I'm showing everybody this tape.
Rightfully so, though. He has been terrific. Just solid, setting people up. He gets a foot in that lane. He can provide a big-time lift.
South Sudan held the lead for 23 minutes of this game. They were a 43.5-point underdog coming into action. So regardless of the final score, and it may get a little bit ballooned, this is a very impressive showing for South Sudan, regardless of the result. And it's Peter Jock knocking down his 3rd field goal.
Talking about Peter, his Iowa days. Been very quiet, though.
Hit a three early and then just a couple of buckets hits.
Yeah, I'd like to force them left if they can.
Here is Edwards.
Got a good play here.
That's a nice play by Bull Cole.
Sure was. Tech and release.
It is Jones bodying his way to the rim against Anthony Edwards.
This kid is good and clever.
13, 10, and 10 for Carlik Jones, who's working on Derek White here. Davis.
How about the hesitation, the peak, a nice dive by Davis. White, beautiful setup.
3 assists for Derek White. He's only played in the second half. Gabriel shut off by Anthony Davis in a travel.
Intimidating. Good footwork by Davis as well. This is just a pretty play. Draw the big. Gabriel takes a sniff. Davis, the 2.
Anthony Davis with 13 points, 9 rebounds. Maybe some consideration. There was some talk about maybe putting Anthony Davis in as a starter, maybe perhaps earning that role. And it may just be matchup dependent once you get to the Olympics.
I think dependent, really. There are going to be a lot of different lineups.
It is Adebayo, short on the 3. Rebound to Shayak, who's had a nice shooting night, but it's cooled off. Maluach, unable to finish.
And they are terrific in the early offense.
It's Tatum. On the drive, switching the hand to the left.
How good was that? The dexterity.
This is the second bucket for Tatum. He's got 7 off the bench for the U.S., which leads by 5 with 4:15 remaining. Come on, Maluach. Jones against Tatum. In traffic.
Doesn't matter. How about this kid? Good. Terrific. The poise under fire.
Just 6'1", Carlik Jones. 26 years of age. He's going to be playing pro in Serbia unless an NBA team grabs him. Edwards way off. Long rebound, Tatum. Shot clock never reset. It's down to 5. Has to go. Tatum launches. Davis working hard on the glass. A foul on the floor. Royale Ivy was incensed by the call against South Sudan.
I think the big guy got the foul, but how about that move? That's just magnificent. Using that rim to ward off and the counter. How productive has this kid been?
You were right. It was Maluach, his 4th foul for South Sudan. Off the inbound, it's Tatum from his Celtic teammate, Derek White. 4 dimes for Derek White in just this half.
They got a foul reach in by Davis.
Davis there.
White's a great addition just defensively when you think of it. But here the find that nice little duo.
As you said, great at both ends. Derek White was arguably the best shot blocking guard and rebounding guard. And I know Josh Hart is rolling his eyes about the rebounding thing somewhere, rightfully so. But White right up there in terms of rebounding and shot blocking for guards in the NBA. Jones, the hezzy, the drive against Davis. Cole, tight roping the baseline. Good defense by Tatum. It is off target for Deng. Rebounded by Adebayo. 3 minutes left in a 5-point United States lead.
Bam's really handled the ball well. Nice cut. Unselfish. Unselfish.
Bam, White, Davis. Everybody touching it for a chance at 3.
That was pretty. Bam has been solid. Handling basketball, making good decisions. We know we can do defensively, but there's that extra look. Boy, White, terrific. Solid performance as well. A lot of stars.
They've recovered nicely in this second half. The USA Basketball Showcase on Fox is brought to you by Nike. 4th of 5 games in the exhibition showcase. First of 2 in London. And after a sluggish start, to say the least, in the first half, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Joel Embiid all have recovered nicely, along with the rest of the U.S. team, for an impressive second half against a very young, fun South Sudanese team.
USA really exhibited great defense, and we know this guy's special, but he just turned it up, led the charge. It was incredible what he's able to do. But a great test, and it's certainly going to help this team, too.
He and Steph Curry playing together for the first time in the United States team together when they debut in the Olympics next week. Both born in the same Akron hospital, years apart, believe it or not. Anthony Davis at the free throw line to try to finish off a three-point play. South Sudan led by double digits for a good chunk of this game. They had a lead for 23 minutes of the 37 that have been played so far today.
Well, this really tells you how the world has expanded the talent base worldwide.
And if you're just joining us, we were given a little bit of history of South Sudan in the first half, and then they got off to this incredible run led by Carlik Jones and company. The youngest basketball nation in the world became a country just 13 years ago after declaring their independence from the Republic of Sudan. Jones, the hezzy, Davis, the block, loose out of bounds to the United States.
Nice to lead him to Davis without fouling.
Another shot block for Anthony Davis. Good. A lot of credit to Royale Ivy. Luol Deng is the president and current assistant coach for South Sudanese basketball. There they are. Royale's been the head coach for the last 3 years. Will head back to Houston after the Olympics to start his run as an assistant coach for Ime Udoka. James, the kick. Curry, a three. One rebound to Paul.
Once again, LeBron, good decision.
Jones, a triple-double for South Sudan. Gabriel did not take advantage of the smaller white. Good defense by LeBron James. Working on Olmont.
Wow. What effort on the defensive end.
Edwards drives it, kicks it. Curry corrals it against Carlik Jones. Edwards to a cutting right into the body of Wenyen Gabriel.
Good D.
Shayok in transition, his 6th triple of the game. And this game's not over just yet.
No question. That's what they have done early and effectively. Shayok, goodness.
23 points.
How about him? Towing that line. Drilling with some nylon. Checking to see if it's a three, I believe.
Yep.
I believe it was at first glance.
I think they didn't count it as such. The initial call was indeed a three. That right foot slide at all doesn't seem to have done so. It stays behind the three-point line.
The alert Steve Kerr. Sneaking a peek.
Good to see Randy Ewing on the scorer's table as well, helping out with the replay for the referees, daughter of Patrick Ewing.
How about that? You're on top of it. You don't miss a thing. Looking at that coaching staff, too. Very impressive. Tyronn Lue, Urge Spolstra, Mark Few.
A lot of championships and NBA titles between Kerr, Few, Spo, and Lue.
There goes Jim Tooley, runs the whole show, coordinates it.
Well, there has been some talk that this could be arguably, and I know the Dream Team is still the gold standard, but could be arguably the best roster put together in United States men's basketball history. But you could say the same for a lot of countries around the world. Curry misfires. This is a 4-point game with 70 seconds left.
And that's a great look for him, too.
Jones against LeBron James. Can't connect. Tipped alive. Shayok. This time he drives it. Finds Jones.
Nice
extra
pass.
feed. JT Thor, a big three. Won't go. Shayok the offensive rebound. He'll float it up and knock it down. It's a 2-point game.
Oh, they are not going away.
The spirited South Sudanese looking for still what would have been the biggest win in their very short program's history. Looking for a defensive stop. It's Curry. Davis. White. On the drive. Long for Davis. He couldn't finish the dunk. Loose ball to Thor. 2 to tie, 3 for the lead. Who wants to be a hero? It's Thor for the lead.
How about this team?
The current Charlotte Hornet, JT Thor, hits the 3, and South Sudan with the lead.
Well, it got them in control early. The early offense, the ability to spot up, acknowledge with a good pass, and Thor doing the damage. How about that? This team hustle, don't give up on plays. Wow.
Shayok the big bucket.
Shayok there, yeah.
And how about Thor, the hammer 3?
And a challenge, too.
With LeBron closing in. 20 seconds remain, and at the very least for the United States, a test with the shot clock off down the stretch with 20 seconds to go. And these are the questions that loom in people's minds in a tight situation. With all the talent, who do you draw it up for?
Well, I think whoever you draw it up for will end up having to take, particularly if it's Steph, they're going to get at him, challenge him. I think they need something creative off the dribble. Look for some help, maybe a slip pass at the rim or a kick to the wing. These guys have been through it.
So many clutch shots throughout this roster at the NBA level. Now looking for it in an exhibition game, while South Sudan looks for the biggest win in its country's very short international history in basketball.
The big thing for South Sudan is rebound. I think that could be the key, too. If you don't convert the jumper, you're going to see some crashing blue shirts.
Here is LeBron James. Thor will pick him up.
Cole all over Steph.
LeBron drives for the lead. He puts it in. With 8 seconds remaining, South Sudan has a timeout to use, and they will use it as LeBron James with 23 points has put the U.S. back on top.
And those set play, just give it to the big guy. Going left, not his dominant hand, but the ability to carve out space, the strength to get by, that is extraordinary. Big thing now is dribble drive at the other end. How are you going to defend, particularly Jones with the dribble? Well, that is impressive the more you look at that particular play. Again, if you don't contain the dribble, you overhelp, they're going to get a good, clean look. South Sudan.
James laughing with his old friend and Cleveland Cavalier coach. They won a title together, Tyronn Lue and LeBron James 8 years ago. James still doing it 8 years later at a high level, but now South Sudan with an opportunity with a basket to pull off a massive, granted in an exhibition, but I don't think anybody this small country cares. They would shock the world with a victory here.
I would think White might, let's see who's on the floor at first, but if White's on the floor, I think he would guard Jones.
Carly Jones, who has been an exceptional ball handler and cog for them. Perhaps Holiday, they'll use Holiday here along with White to put out their best defensive line of a couple of Celtics. It'll be Shayok to inbound, White defending it. Jones trying to get free. Into Carly Jones. 6 seconds left. Carly Jones on the drive for the lead. The dunk try by Gabriel. A second attempt, no. Davis comes out with it. And that is it. The United States holds on for a win. And South Sudan mere moments away from what would have been the biggest win in their country's history, perhaps in any sporting event. The United States holds on for a 1-point victory.
The word is escapes, basically.
Oh, my goodness.
They had chances at the rim, did a good job on Jones, and they have the respect of the USA team. What an effort by South Sudan. Royal Ivy, he's got something going.
He's been doing it now for 3.5 years. Ivy and Deng leading the way for South Sudan and its basketball program, a country that's only been a country independently for 13 years. They almost pulled it off.
And right here, the biggest play is right to containment. You see, look at the challenge by Davis as well. And I think Edwards may have gotten a piece of the last one. Able to turn the corner, and that right there caused the extra kiss on the glass. And that was Edwards, too, with some strength.
A sigh of relief. And Wenyen Gabriel, the most experienced NBA player on this South Sudanese roster, shaking his head. Curry, LeBron, and the United States escape. LeBron James with the game winner in the final half minute. Part of a 23-point effort after South Sudan had taken the lead on the Thor 3. James, the go-ahead bucket. We'll wrap it up after this.